After all, your gift is your song.
Mhm.
Probably too old for you. That's too old for me, really. It's an Elton John reference. I'm exhausted. I'm making Elton John references. Okay, we are live, and we are joined this hour by Robert Witanek. And did I get your name right? I'm sorry. Is it Witanek? Is that correct?
My name is Robert Colby Witanek.
Yeah, Witanek. Okay. We're joined by Robert Witanek, and he is going to share with us. We're going to talk a little politics, but first he's going to share with us also some of his music work as a musician. Take it away.
Thank you.
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Robert. Wow, I wasn't sure what to expect, but that was it certainly surpassed anything I could have. So, can you tell us a little bit about your background? You are actually a master of the piano, officially. So, can you tell us a little bit about your education and your background in music?
Um, I studied at Westminster Choir College. I earned a bachelor's degree in piano and a master's degree in piano pedagogy and performance.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm someone that's endlessly fascinated. I mean, I'm not a musician of any kind, but I'm endlessly fascinated by structure and composition. So, how is it that when you sit down and you write a song, you have to have like in my line of work is there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? And I can know that in the beginning certain things have to happen, in the middle certain things need to happen, and by the end, it all kind of it encapsulates everything that's happened already, and then we're like, oh my god. So how does that work in the world of putting a song together, composing a piece of instrumental music?
Well, I have to start by saying my background isn't so much like in songwriting,
Hmm.
but it's it's like you said, there is a sort of structure to it. You know, I have melodies sometimes that come to my mind, and I try to write them down when they come to me, and sometimes I try to see where they go, and if they go somewhere that you know seems like it would be worth like using in a song, I try my best to to remember it.
Right, right, right. So like in the process though, so what is what is like an editing process? Like a melody comes to your mind, we don't know where it comes from. From the back of your mind, it's subconscious and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. It's like almost like a dream, right? But then you got to sit down and make this thing real, right? So what is editing like when you're editing these melodies into something tangible that you can share?
Well, well, I don't have much personal experience with recording my own music, but I do work with other musicians, and you know I work with songwriters and with bands, and I play in a band currently, and you know sometimes the songwriter has a certain idea of like how he wants a song to sound, but he doesn't have really clear like melodic structure. So I'll work with them and tweak a few notes here and there, and it'll be something that works out really well.
Yeah. So what's that like? See, I'm such a lone wolf. I'm not used to like collaborating with other people. I get kind of like whatever. But I mean, so what is it like collaborating process of being a band? I mean, this it's gonna be followed by a wide section of different people, now or later. So tell us what it's like, because everyone, not all of us are musicians. So what is it like to collaborate with other musicians?
Well, you know, it tends to vary from time to time. I've been dealing with some imposter syndrome since I graduated from college because I didn't, somewhere along the way, I didn't end up with the kind of work that I envisioned myself doing. But, you know, so I'm dealing with imposter syndrome, and that makes it kind of difficult to really connect. But I do get some really rewarding moments working with some other very talented musicians. And, you know, it, there are some moments when, we put together a song for the first time and everything starts clicking, and I'm just in my element.
Yeah, yeah. That's a rough one. I mean, imposter syndrome. It's it it pops its head up in every field and discipline. Um, and yet, despite having those feelings, you still are able to you're still able to collaborate in bands. You're still able to record. You're still able to come on and be interviewed here. What advice do you have to give to people who are struggling with imposter syndrome and yet still get through it?
Well, you have to think like when you're going into this moment, this moment was meant for you, and you know like obviously you're always going to be worrying about like what's going to go wrong this time, but you have to think of you're working with people that trust you enough to be in this moment with them. And I think it all comes down to trust, just being able to trust the people around you and be able to trust yourself to be the person that they need in that moment.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. That's really that's solid and succinct. Can you play some more music for us?
All right, let's see.
Wow, simply incredible. That was amazing. Wow. All right, Robert, where are you joining us from? What part of the country? Where are you in the world?
So I just want to. Okay, there. And oh, and there. Okay. I am in Belmead, New Jersey.
New Jersey. How are things out there with the virus and everything?
Well, New Jersey is the state with the second highest amount of cases, second highest amount of deaths, and as of like the past couple of weeks, Governor Murphy has been planning to reopen everything up on May 15th. And my dad has been helping to lead the fight against that, and you know he's been putting the pressure on Murphy. And a day or two ago, Murphy tweeted out, you know, we can't open everything else. We can't open everything up again until until the scientists like tell us that it's okay. But like it seemed the wording of the tweet was still kind of vague. Like it still leaves room open to like still ambiguous. And so we're trying to push to commit to close through onto the summer, so we can ensure that everybody in New Jersey will stay safe.
Yeah, yeah. How are you personally dealing with it?
Well, I'm a person who depends on a lot of routine. So obviously, I had to change a lot of routines, and so that's been a real struggle for me.
Yeah, yeah. I myself right when this began, I gave myself this extremely rigorous work schedule where I was working on almost every single hour was accounted for. But then I couldn't keep doing that because I can't. I'm on an island. I have to like talk to people. And so I started doing this to kind of distract me. But then I happened to myself, and now I'm doing 9 a day, right? So it's kind of like, we kind of have to end up finding new routines. Now, I know your father, but I also know you, and I actually didn't know. This is me. I didn't even realize that you were father and son. I know you both kind of from Left Book. I mean, it was from what's affectionately called Left Book. I mean, it's right there. I mean, your father is Bob. You're Robert. You have the same last name. I mean, the connections were there. You made.
I'm Colby Witanek.
Okay, but I somehow missed it. So, I'm going to pose a question to you that I've been posing to other people that are leftist, generally speaking, and the answer is fairly obvious, but the variations of the answer always interest me. So, why is it that a market economy is incapable of producing the things we need during a pandemic?
Well, with everything being commodified and with the primary motive behind everything being profit, we see this especially with healthcare right now, since everybody's healthcare is tied to the healthcare of everybody else. This really drives the point home as to why we need universal healthcare and why we can't run a system on for-profit healthcare, which drives the price of everything to these skyrocketing levels that we see today, that deny so many people of treatment who need that treatment. And there's all these people around, like continuing to go to work, possibly like carrying this virus without showing any symptoms, because we're not testing people until things get to catastrophic levels.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's irrational and it's deadly. We have a question from the audience. It asks, what are some of the services that you are offering from your location during isolation, and can you describe how each of them transpire?
So, um, let me start with some of the stuff that I've already been doing. I teach piano at various music institutions, and I teach a couple of private students. Um, and I play for a church. I I play for choirs at universities, and each place where I work has been handling this transition a little bit differently. Um, both of the music schools that I teach at have switched to online and virtual lessons. So I did keep some of my students. The university where I work as a choral accompanist kept me on for like projects. The conductor sent me a video of him conducting a couple of the songs, and I put together an accompaniment track, and the students recorded to those tracks, and at the church that I work for just set up virtual services. We do our services through Zoom, and we live stream them to Facebook. The 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 various members of the church lead the different parts of the service, and I play and sing the hymns.
So, when you're playing with other musicians, do you have like do you need to like have like what do you call it, band practice? I mean, do you have to have like practice? How does that work? How are you like playing with the other musicians over Zoom? How's that been?
Oh,
I mean, I know technologically how, but I mean, like, what's that like when you're not in the room with the person? Is there an adjustment period to that? I mean, it seems like.
Well, the way that, well, like I said, each place handles it differently. The university that I work for, there's one accompaniment track, and then the singers record to that track, and the conductor sort of like put everything together and edited it, and that's been kind of interesting to see how that all works. And then for the church service, obviously it's like through Zoom, so the host mutes everybody except like whoever's presenting in that moment, so you don't get like feedback and like the delays that come through.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're all adjusting to how to migrate our life onto Zoom and various other platforms. It's been an interesting process for me. I started doing this kind of thing where I'm like making like my own independent film director. The Blair Witch Matt project. It's kind of it's been my response. I am interested in hearing some more music. Can you sing for us as well? I mean, can you do that as well? Can you add vocal accompaniment to something?
Yeah.
All right, that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly and all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha la 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 lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts. Take me to your dreams. Touch me when I fall into view. When the winter comes, keep the fires lit, and I will be right next to you. Engine drivers head up north to Pleasant Stream. Keep me in your heart for a while. You know those wheels keep turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-lo. Keep me in your heart for a while. Keep me in your heart for a while.
All right, fantastic. So that's Warren Zevon, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna be, it's gonna be seen later or now or whenever by a wide cross section of people. For those unfamiliar, can you tell us a little about Warren Zevon?
Well, I mean, I have respect for Warren Zevon as an artist, as a singer and a songwriter. Not so much as a person, but that's a whole other story. But he always like had this dark sense of humor, and was really eloquent in how he was able to like write songs about such emotional subject matters, especially like leading up to his death. So and his songs just kind of work with my voice more so than like a lot of other rock singers. So I've kind of like over the years like learned a lot of Warren Zevon songs.
Yeah. I always remember the song he had about the boxer. What's that one called?
Boom Boom Mancini.
Boom Boom Mancini. Yeah. And I always thought the way he did it, it was great because on one hand, like it was a story told well, right? Hurry on home, hurry on early, Boom Boom Mancini's by Bobby Chacon. It was a story told very well, but it also captured a kind of style, aesthetic of where it was coming from, right? So it's like Youngstown, Ohio. Boom Boom's a local hero. Boom Boom goes, and he fights other local heroes, and sometimes he wins, and sometimes he loses. I think the fact that when it was like when Alexis Arguello gave Boom Boom a beating, right, or something like that. It was like he wins and he loses, right? So that was rare, but you still got to root for Boom Boom, right? Yeah. But it also captured that like this is an escape for people that are working in factories. So he was able to accomplish multiple things in like a small amount of space.
Yeah, I think that's really well put.
Yeah, that's what I really like. I like Zevon too. What so what are some of the other rock pop musicians you like to cover?
Well, I like the Who, and I've also really been into Frank Zappa. I have a couple of recordings on YouTube where I did my own like piano covers of some of Frank Zappa songs.
Cool. I'm actually going to interview later this week Ruben Guevara, who worked with Frank Zappa on his project Ruben and the Jets. So it's pretty cool. We're all connected. Can you play a Who song for us? Is that possible?
Sure. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours all and lonely. Love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. I blame you. No one bites back as hard on their anger. None of my pain and woe can show through. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours all and lonely. Love is vengeance that's never free. My fist clenches, crack it open before I use it and lose my cool. And if I smile, tell me some bad news before I laugh and act like a fool. And if I swallow anything evil, put your finger down my throat. And if I shiver, please give me a blanket. Keep me warm, let me wear your coat. No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes.
Fantastic. Thank you for humoring me. Thank you for I also like the Who. Thank you for humoring me there. So we're gonna I'm gonna wrap up, ask you some questions about how people can help you, how people can support, or how people not support, but how people can get in touch with you to do some of these services and what some of those and expand a little more on what some of those services entail. But before we do that, can you play us one more instrumental track so we could really people can really get an idea of your chops, as they say.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. No. Right. All right. So, what were the first two instrumentals you played for us?
Well, the first one was Beethoven's Piano Sonata Opus 101 in A major, the first movement, and the second one was Chopin's Nocturne Opus 62 number 1 in B major.
And this last one?
The People United Will Never Be Defeated, by Frederick Chesky.
Fantastic. El Pueblo Unido. Jamás será vencido. That's a great final song. So some of what I understand, some of what you do is you actually play instrumentals for people to accompany poetry or spoken word, or how does that work?
Yeah.
How can that work?
Well, my dad has written a couple of songs. He's been an activist like pretty much his whole life, and he's written dozens of songs, in support of various causes, and sometimes he'll ask me to lay down a track, to go along with like the words. And sometimes he has an idea of like the melody in his mind. Sometimes he asks me to come up with the melody, and I'm always able to throw something down. I've also done some work with Paul Hirschfeld, who's a songwriter himself. I've collaborated with him, like laid some chords down on top of his songs.
Yeah. And you also are available to collaborate with other musicians who might be interested in listening to this as well, who might tune in as well.
Yeah, definitely interested.
Okay, and whether they be musicians or spoken word artists or even just people delivering speeches and they want some kind of like dramatic emphasis, right? How would any of these people get a hold of you?
Oh, well, they can contact me. I'll give my phone number and my email. Phone number is 908-635.
We can put in the link. You can just put down in the link below.
But
go ahead. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Phone number is 908-635-3285. And people can contact me at my email, which is colbywittanr@gmail.com. And I'll leave them in the comments.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and now everyone out there knows if they want to connect and collaborate with Robert. I thank you so much, Robert. Any parting words you have for our viewers about life, about what they should be doing right now, about how to get through?
Well, I mean, right now, like I'm I'm still like I'm in my upper 20s, so I guess I'd still consider myself young. I'm still a little bit confused, and you know, I haven't got my own life together, but you know, I think especially with the the way the coronavirus pandemic right now, and with the way that the Democratic Party has effectively pushed out the only real progressive candidate running, I think right now creates like the optimal conditions where we really need to start hitting the ground running and getting a mass movement of workers united around creating a better world for all of us.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was expecting like stay in, wash your hands, love each other, but that's probably a more more a more sober look at what we need to do. Well, you are immensely talented. Um, I thank you for joining me. You've improved my project a millionfold. So thank you again, Robert, and I'm sure we'll be seeing each other soon.
Thank you.